News 5's Brett Forrest spoke with a Colorado man who was recently fired from his Park Service position.
I found out at 4:57 p.m. on Friday that I was being terminated and that I had until the end of the day to turn in all my government furnished items.
Last week, President Trump ordered the widespread firing of probationary employees at federal agencies, potentially impacting thousands of Americans. I'm speaking with one fired staffer from Rocky Mountain National Park. We are not revealing his identity because he plans to appeal his firing and fears being targeted by the administration. Several former Air Force officials and instructors now speaking out. These internal discussions have been confirmed by both KOAA and our news partners at the Gazette.
I found trying to cover these stories, especially at the Air Force Academy, many people don't want to speak out or speak up. Why are you choosing to speak up now?
Because of my background at the Academy and my number of years, perhaps a few thoughts I have might be useful to people in understanding the danger of what's going on now.
I drove out to Sand Creek Massacre and Amache National Historic Sites in southeastern Colorado to see these signs for myself and learn more. On a windy weekday, as temperatures flirt with triple digits, only a handful of people are visiting the Sand Creek Massacre National Historic Site on Colorado's southeastern plains. Those here might spot two new signs posted June 13th, encouraging visitors to scan a QR code and report anything negative about either past or living Americans. So I placed a Colorado Open Records Act request, or CORA, with several school districts asking for emails sent to or received by CHASA. I sent this to District 20, District 11, and District 12, and what I learned is they all received this email on February 10th, but nothing appears to have been communicated since then. Sent 5 days after Trump's order, CHASA's email states it creates a, quote, direct conflict between federal directives and existing Colorado state law, adding Colorado state law remains in effect. Nearly 50 days later, no additional guidance from CHASA.
But at some point, if it's really bad, we have to call the feds. Right now, I don't have a lot of confidence in that.
A 40% decrease is a steep drop-off in firefighting capability, so I reached out to the Forest Service asking if they dispute that figure. The agency did not directly answer my question, instead sending this lengthy statement saying they're looking to fill up to 1,100 wildland firefighting positions nationwide from now until April 24th, trying to staff up before the busy summer fire season. But that deadline just days away. According to two separate memos we obtained, the federal hiring freeze is impacting childcare at both Fort Carson and Peterson Space Force Base. In a Fort Carson memo dated April 1st, military families were told the base is temporarily pausing enrollment for their child care waiting list, saying the recent federal hiring freeze resulted in staffing levels not sufficient to meet the needs of the wait list. And in an effort to prove or disprove Gradisar's claims, I placed an open records request for Councilwoman Maestry's emails to see if there were people voicing support of a ban outside the council chambers. The result yielded hundreds of pages from about 70 emails. Of those, only 3 emails were sent to Maestry before the vote in support of a ban, seemingly going against the councilwoman's claims. So I reached out to see if she had other records to support what she said. I emailed and called, but did not receive a response before this story aired. Head Start is considered the largest child care provider in El Paso County, and cutting it, as is reportedly being floated by the Trump administration, could cause devastating impacts on the country, the state, and here locally.
It's a lot of money for families to pay.
This is Paula Venegas. When she lived in Pueblo, she wasn't able to get her child into Head Start. We are able to now independently verify that the FBI did indeed seize a phone of Nevada Republican Chair Michael McDonald. That's because he told me himself, and that's part of a January 6th investigation.
FBI showed up very professional, very polite. They had a subpoena for the phone, and we gave the subpoena over to them.
That's Nevada GOP Chair Michael McDonald describing the day the FBI subpoenaed his phone 2.5 weeks ago. He says they still have it somewhere in Washington, D.C. Are you worried that they have it?
No, look, I'm law enforcement, so they got to be able to do their investigation.
Sleeping in cars and sleeping on the sidewalks and folks doing drugs.
Preston Williams is a Greyhound passenger who's seen the issues firsthand, fearing for his safety, especially if the bus drops off at night.
It's crazy to me. It's crazy.
I called Commissioner Miller's office.
Hi, you reached Clark County Commissioner Ross Miller's office. We can take your call right now, but please.
And then his personal number.
Has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Eventually only getting this statement from the county, not denying the conversation took place, but calling it, quote, misleading.
It sounds like the county clerk is kind of backing off expectations.
Yeah, Jim, that's right. He invited us out to Pahrump today to see the hand counting in action. It's been so controversial because it's gone through multiple legal challenges. And now the clerk, he finally has a go-ahead from the Secretary of State, but they're weeks behind schedule. So yes, he is backing off some expectations and referring to all of this as a test. Since the arrest report mentions jail video, I submitted a records request with the Sheriff's Office on March 28th, a day after reporting on the incident. That request can be seen here. 5 days later, the Records Department confirms they have 4 videos per the request with a charge of $32, specifying there are no direct cameras within each cell and jail deputies are not equipped with body cameras. After paying the fee, we received the videos 13 days later on April 15th. That same day, I reached out to the Public Defender's Office for a statement, despite their blanket policy to never comment to the media. The following day, the Public Defender's Office called me asking how I obtained the videos. I told them through a records request and once again asked for a comment. They declined and ended the call. That evening, the defense filed a motion to limit pretrial publicity, citing the fact we obtained the jail video, saying they never received the video themselves and falsely suggesting someone in the government leaked it to our newsroom. Adding the video could affect a fair trial for Nicholas Jordan and pushing for a sanction against the district attorney's office. After obtaining this video, the offices of the public defender, district attorney, and sheriff have pressured our newsroom via this motion and phone calls not to report or show the video.
Being told that this whole thing was to bring investors to revitalize this, but $200,000 did nothing to revitalize it.
Yeah, the goal was to drum up business through music, but some shop owners in Commercial Center tell us the free outdoor concert backfired big time. Clark County organized what was billed as a block party that some say only blocked profits. Good evening, I'm Jim Snyder.
And I'm Latoya Silman. Tonight, News 3 is holding officials accountable, and our Brett Forrest has been following this story. Brett, we're now 4 days removed from this event, but some small businesses owners, they're not backing down from this.
Yeah, Jim, Latoya, good evening. The Commercial Center used to be a big part of Vegas. These days, not so much. So Clark County officials really did think this block party would help put it back on the map, drum up so much business, as you said, but that just does not appear to be the case. The county tells me only 4,500 people came to the event. That's after they announced 12,000 free tickets sold out within hours. I don't think people expected all 12,000 to show up, but the 4,500, much less than anticipated. One business owner here telling me he had to have an online fundraiser to make up lost income from that event last week, shutting off people going into his business. Other owners here telling me that Clark County officials, a commissioner, making some what they say are upsetting, unsettling comments to them, and comments that they say an elected official should never be making to their constituents.
I was also told, in addition, that nobody cares about us and our businesses don't matter.
According to 4 witnesses I interviewed, Clark County Commissioner Ross Miller and another county official made these comments to Commercial Center business owners ahead of Thursday's much-touted block party.
We were also told that we were a waste of resources, that he could buy this building up and burn it to the ground, and nobody would care.
What he said was so out of line and just so heartless.
Miller allegedly saying this to the Jones family, but others nearby heard it too.
I overheard that our businesses don't matter and that we're a waste of resources. He wants to burn and level this place to the ground. That's what I heard.
I called Commissioner Miller's office.
Hi, you reached Clark County Commissioner Ross Miller's office. We can take your call right now, but please.
And then his personal number.
Has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Eventually only getting this statement from the county, not denying the conversation took place, but calling it, quote, misleading, saying he read them a legal definition for blight and told them, quote, the response to such conditions is a choice between removing the facilities altogether and starting from scratch or working with what's there to improve it. Business owners say that did not happen.
How can you do that to business owners who work so hard, not to mention the fact that we were some of the lucky ones. We survived the pandemic.
But it doesn't end there. A business owner sharing an email thread. In it, you see Commissioner Ross Miller saying he's, quote, baffled by the sense of entitlement and questioning whether he should personally contribute any further continued public service to help.
I want dialogue. I want to have a successful block party out here to shine a light on this really unique and vibrant community.
The same email thread showing a reply from Commissioner Tick Sagerbloom, who represents these businesses in his district, calling them, quote, ungrateful miscreants.
It's confusing. It's very confusing because these are people that I voted for.
Now, after receiving those emails, I did reach out to Commissioner Tick Sagerbloom, asking him about his comments, and he replied to me, quote, it was not good on my part, adding, quote, they have legitimate concerns, but we are hoping our efforts benefit everyone going forward. Now,